Hey there and welcome back to The Sims 3. My name is Pete and today we complete another episode of this attempt to fully complete The Sims 3 World Adventures. Last time we left off after a brief stay at home where we raised Uni's martial arts and Fabion's nectar making skills to level 10 and then assembled a new adventuring party of Sanat and William to once again return to Simhara, Egypt. Here, the local MorcuCorp corporation once again needs to be dealt with, but this time we were tasked with working on their side, and we did, all for the sake of true completion. And we are still in the middle of that quest. Before we continue though, let's quickly grab the opportunistic lifetime reward for Sanat, just to earn a bit more for completing quests from here on out. Sanat's current task is to convince 5 locals that MorcuCorp isn't so bad. So how about we start with general goods merchant Izirina Doiran, who already showed herself to be into Sanat. Maybe we can leverage that to our advantage. And there we go, 1 down, 4 to go. Up next we hit up local relic merchant Kylef Tell, who Sanat also has a decent relationship with. Then we visit his family. His mother Chimay, his grandmother Lethariana, and his brother Denim, and after watching his mother be easily convinced, we also briefly check in on William, who has not been sitting idly by, but is instead heading to the only place on the map where mummitomium can currently be found, arguably the rarest material in Simhara. He'll stay here to collect a few other bits and pieces. Sanat, meanwhile, convinces his brother Denim and then, shortly after, his grandmother Lethariana, and can now report back to his quest giver Eve Heartstone. Up next in our MorcuCorp business, we need to convince the local merchants to sign contracts with them. Of particular interest is relic merchant Kylef Tell. This requires a slightly more advanced relationship though, so we'll get working on that. Sanat improves his charisma skill to level 4 in the process, and eventually Kylef Tell is on board. The only problem, he doesn't have any of the relics that MorcuCorp wants, but with some turquoise, the merchant offers to quickly make some, so we're kind of back to working against the bad guys. In any case, the stage of the quest is quickly completed, as William carries plenty of turquoise gems in his inventory and can transfer a few of them to his adventuring protege. And there we go, with MorcuCorp now receiving a steady stream of more or less authentic Egyptian relics, we can report back to Eve Heartstone and complete this quest chain. So, it's time to pick up a new adventure, and this here sounds promising. We are asked to get ourselves torched, soaked, and cursed in that order. This quest is actually pretty useful to unlock another one later down the line, more on that in a few moments. For now, we jump over to William, put a stop to his excavation tour, give him a quick shower in the can, and then meet up at the Pyramid of the Burning Sands. Inside, we immediately want to head down into the final treasure room, from where a yet unexplored doorway leads us into the room that actually counts as the end of this tomb, because this pyramid does in fact consist of 2 tombs, the Tomb of the Burning Sands, and then this one, the Tomb of Rock. We have collected both tomb sigils already, but we missed the official completion of the latter, so with that taken care of, let's have William add the Tomb of Rock to his collection as well, while Sanat will now jump all the fire traps in this tomb, and there are plenty, in hopes to get himself caught in one. Unfortunately though, his martial arts skill is relatively high at level 6 I believe, so in this case he has a good chance of getting through unscathed, and doing so will also permanently deactivate the trap. With William coming down the stairs here, he has now also completed the Tomb of Burning Sands and doesn't need to watch as Sanat tries his luck with the remaining traps, so we send him straight to the pyramid next door, while the last trap here finally does the trick and gets our young adventurer nice and crispy. So that's the getting torched part done. Now we need to get soaked, and that's easy. Any dive well will do. And so begins the tricky part. Sanat now needs to get cursed at the hands of a mummy. Now for some reason, the one inside this tomb is no longer running around, but the Great Pyramid next door has one still patrolling, and coincidentally we need to visit its treasure chamber with William anyway in order to mark this tomb as completed for him as well. Sanat then enters the already familiar area with the mummy sarcophagus by pushing a statue out of the way. However, in order to get the mummy interested in him, it seems like we need to loot the treasure chest once more. And that does it. We've got a fight on our hands, and ironically, we're hoping for Sanat to lose decisively. Alright, that's a great start, because even if you lose the fight, mummies are not guaranteed to curse you, and after fighting one it will go back in its sarcophagus, so we cannot instantly repeat the attempt. In this case though, we got lucky. Sanat now has the mummy's curse moodlet for a hefty -25 mood penalty, and if we don't find a way to get rid of that in the 14 days specified here, Sanat will in fact die. But for now we have time that we're spending on a photo opportunity that won't be all that enjoyable for William. Let's deactivate the trap here, have William stand on it, and then push the statue away again to make the flames return. This immediately sets William on fire, but luckily Sanat is rushing over to help. However, he also wants to take pictures. This actually allows us to get both the fighting fire motif as well as the singed sim, so we add those two to our collection, deactivate the trap again, and then leave the pyramid as it is getting late. With the mummy's curse now affecting him, Sanat can report back to Special Merchant Ketavan Moraes, who apart from visa points, 5,000 simoleons and kind words does not offer a cure for Sanat's condition. Looks like we'll have to find that ourselves. William stops by the shop a few moments later to deliver the mummitomium he already collected during the morning. His reward is equally handsome, almost 8,000 simoleons, and enough visa points to advance him to level 2. And so, after freshening up in the market bathroom, both of our sims can head to bed, and we jump ahead to the following morning. Thanks to our super duper tent, we don't need a lot of sleep, so Sanat rushes off to grab a new quest, and this is why getting cursed has its uses. A special opportunity is unlocked when a sim is afflicted by the condition. For the low price of a 150 simoleon relic, we can learn how to cure the curse, and William has plenty of relics in his inventory, so we quickly transfer one to Sanat and then have him speak to Tatiana Moraes, wife of Special Merchant Ketavan, who reveals that the mummy's curse can be lifted by visiting and pleading to the Sphinx. We'll gladly accept, while William picks up a new quest himself. More gold needs to be collected, and that's easy to fulfill for him, as he has way more than 3 pieces already in his inventory. Before he goes to deliver them, he can also send off some gems to be cut, while Sanat has already reached the Sphinx. Now, when doing this quest, it is very important to move your sim close enough to the Sphinx so that the first quest stage triggers as completed. If you plead to it too soon, you can still cure the curse, but never complete the quest. In any case, it is now time to plead to the Sphinx, a brief procedure that doesn't take too long, but actually gives us one of the more unique scenes in the game. And there we go, the Sphinx opens its door for us, and as Sanat enters a room full of fire traps, he now needs to find the Soulpeace Statue. Now, half of the traps here are easily diffused by simply stepping onto the pressure plate. For the others, we need to swim through the small pools of water here, and then push the statues into the fire and onto the floor switches behind. While Sanat goes to work, William also quickly turns in his gold collecting quest with relic merchant Kylef Tell, who rewards him with ancient coins, visa points and cash. Inside the Sphinx, Sanat is already working on the second statue. The two floor switches here both reveal holes in the floor behind, and to access them we need to drag one of the two outer statues out of the way. William has also made it over to the Sphinx now and can join his young protege. The holes in the floor are important, as the one on the right opens the path onwards. Apart from that, the treasure in the room is nothing overly exciting yet. Now, taking the stairs downwards, we can collect gemstones and ancient coins. Approaching the former also activates some electricity traps that we want to stay far away from, while the room has two exits, one door and a hidden passage. Sanat takes the easy way, walking through a corridor that turns violet as he approaches, a plaque at the end telling him that violet is the color of the chosen path when air turns to water. No doubt a reference to the 4 dive wells in the next chamber here, but before exploring any of them, let's have Sanat rummage through the 4 sarcophagi, while William collects the treasure hidden behind the secret door. Most of it is once again gemstones, metals and ancient coins, but there is one much more valuable piece that will in a moment fulfill several relic-related wishes for Sanat and William, a gold figurine, part of a 4-piece collection. With a value of over 2,300 simoleons, it earns Sanat and William several thousand lifetime happiness points and completes 2 wishes for both of them. Sanat has also collected a few more treasures from the sarcophagi and can now explore the violet dive well. The other 3 will leave be, just like the plaque recommended. William also has one more treasure chest to loot, this one hidden behind a small wall of stone statues that need to be moved out of the way. At the bottom of the dive well, Sanat then finds a switch to unlock a secret passageway. William meanwhile has gained access to a chest containing several emerald gemstones. Through another corridor, Sanat has now entered a room with a circle of chairs and a few piles of ancient coins. That is, however, not the only thing in here. Another hidden door sits on the wall over here. Behind it, an Egyptian-themed bathroom with a star keystone, needed to unlock the next door. What lies beyond is now a rather tricky section, a maze of traps and pushable statues that also has a few valuables in hard-to-reach places, so a proper puzzle. While Sanat begins clearing a path, William returns to that small bathroom because it too has a hidden door in it, and opening this one is crucial for our completionist efforts, as we can find the tomb's unique sigil stone behind it. After giving William Pangu's axe, he can also quickly clear the rubble pile and collect the treasure inside of it, another star keystone, and afterwards Sanat and William can move the last few statues together to both get a hold of ancient coins and to finally deactivate the fire traps. With the path now cleared, Sanat can loot the treasure chest. Coincidentally, this one contains 3 gold bars, the same amount William had to deliver in his quest earlier, while William inspects another hidden doorway. A treasure chest sits behind it, some gemstones inside, and that's it for this area. Up the stairs into the next one. Now, before using the big stairs here, there are several rock piles to destroy. Sanat takes care of that with Pangu's axe back in his inventory, while William collects the treasure. One final rock pile then also blocks a passage into the next chamber, This one a shortcut back to the starting area, opened by stepping onto the pressure plate. We don't want to go back out just yet though. Instead, our two adventurers make their way up the stairs, where more rock rubble is waiting for them. A rainbow gem worth almost 1,500 simoleons sits inside one of the piles, but apart from the star keystone on the right, the loot inside these is randomized as far as I know. Once everything has been grabbed, we go through the door and then open up the secret passage to the only way onwards, while William takes a well-deserved shower from a can. And this now gets us into the heart of the Sphinx. Entering this chamber here officially marks the tomb as completed. Before we meditate at the Soulpeace Statue in front of Sanat though, we also want to have him snap a photo of it to add to the travel collection, and then, while William collects the treasure, Sanat can seek cleansing from the mummy's curse. And so, with his mentor looking on, Sanat Huja meditates for a while before the statue reacts to his calls and lifts the mummy's curse. Not only is Sanat no longer in mortal danger, he even receives the Sphinx's blessing and a nice mood bonus on top of it. We are not done in here yet though. Let us quickly investigate the wall behind the statue now to reveal another secret treasure room. By the way, William has now officially completed 6 tombs in Simhara. Now he only needs to do so in Champs-les-Sims to finally fulfill the challenge and complete the Great Explorer lifetime wish. The chest is then opened with one of those star keystones and contains a few more gems, and that's it. Time to head back out. Or is it? As you can see, William is not leaving. Instead, he goes back down into the bowels of the Sphinx and will now, against all warnings, explore one of the black dive wells. Doing so makes a mummy emerge from a nearby sarcophagus, and surprisingly, that is exactly what we wanted to do, as we need William to receive the mummy's curse too, for a photo opportunity. Yes, we are putting our eldest sim into mortal danger just for a quick picture. In this case, however, the mummy only beats him up but does not bestow the curse. Luckily, we have 2 more pools to try again. Sanat, meanwhile, is opening up a secret entrance into another part of the tomb, a staircase outside of the Sphinx leading down into a treasure chamber that can only be accessed from here. Down there, he can begin clearing the rocks, while William, who has regained consciousness, enters dive well number 2. As Sanat then collects the treasure hidden inside the rock piles, William and the second mummy come to blows, despite initial attraction that I'm not going to comment on. Suffice it to say, the fight is as one-sided as the previous one, and unfortunately also once again ends with William not getting cursed. While he recovers, Sanat has opened up another secret doorway and can loot the treasure chest for a valuable canopic jar, before he then goes one level deeper into a large chamber with a golden brown dive well, several sarcophagi, and plenty of rock piles and boulders that we will clear first. William then goes for attempt number 3 as Sanat picks up money bags and piles of ancient coins, and a short while later we're watching another mummy beat the old man up, all in the pursuit of a complete photography collection. Sadly though, William once again leaves mostly unscathed, unconscious but also uncursed. And that's all the mummies we can fight in here, so we'll now have to try elsewhere. In the meantime, Sanat unlocks another hidden door with a pushable statue, collects 2 sarcophagus fragments from a treasure chest, and a few more relics from the chamber behind it. Inside the sarcophagus here, he also finds a valuable bottle of nectar, and we're still not done. After a pressure plate in the room with the dive well reveals a hole in the wall, fiddling around with it unlocks yet another hidden passage. One more treasure chest sits behind it, a gemstone is on the floor as well, and a second secret chamber can be found on the opposite side of the main room. While William joins Sanat to collect the last few valuables, Sanat himself explores the dive well. This one, however, does not trigger a mummy, but instead transports our young adventurer into one final treasure room. And a money bag is not all he can find in here. Mourning at the tombstone also reveals a hole in the floor with more goodies inside. At this point, though, we are done. We have been adventuring for pretty much an entire day and night, and while Sanat has regained some energy from meditating at the Soulpeace Statue, William is dead tired. So let's wrap things up by having Sanat report his cleansing from the curse to quest giver Tatiana Moraes. And there we go. That advances Sanat to Visa level 3, and we are one step closer to full completion of Simhara and all its adventures. Back at base camp, William can quickly collect his cut gems and pick up a new quest to deliver 2 extra pieces of Mummitomium. That could get interesting, but for today we say goodbye to our adventurers and grant them a bit of sleep. And with that, let's make the cut. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can of course go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date, grab some merch over on shop.plead.com, or become a channel member or Patreon supporter. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.